Hello, friends. As I told you last day, I'll come at 9 o'clock with a class for you on Amoretti, story number 75. Friends, welcome to my so called class. Though today, no board is here, but very soon I'll install one board, so you will get one boardwork also. And hello, are you getting me properly? Right now, who are watching me, could you answer? Sarif Sheikh, hello, dear. And today I will discuss only exclusively on English literature, particularly one topic already given to you, that Immortality, sorry, number 75. So just waiting for two or three. Okay, let's begin. So once again, welcome to my so-called class. Though I'm just like your friend, and as you know, the topic of today's that is Immortality, sorry, number 75. So first of all, I must tell you that I hope that all of you who are watching me right now, uh, so you are watching uh, Bongshi Sharkar. Okay, Bongshi Sharkar, welcome to my class. So the students who are watching right now, so if it is possible for you, just please have the text with you, because as there is no board with me, so it's very difficult for me to just write on the on blackboards whatever I will say, and that entire class will be oral method. So I needed a board, but somehow I couldn't manage board. But very soon I'll install and I will do the board work also. So before beginning, warm welcome from my side to all of you, and good evening to all of you. As you know that in your CC3, that one CC3 in Calcutta University or any other university, the University of Kalani, West Bengal State University, in the English honors syllabus, there is one sonnet that is uh, Amoretti, sonnet number 75. So the very important thing that when you go through any sonnet, first of all, I know all of you know what does sonnet mean, what genre writing sonnet is. And before beginning this thing, I must ask you one thing. If you know, could you answer me? That when you talk about poem and poetry, this is very, please listen it very carefully. When you talk about poem and poetry, then what is the difference between poem and poetry? Do you find a difference between poem and poetry? Uh, if you know the answer, you can write it here. If you know the answer, the difference between poem and poetry. Okay, if you know the difference between the we say poem and poetry, so do you find any difference between the two terms, poem and poetry? If you know, could you write it down? If you don't know also, poetry is a generic term and poem comes under the poetry section. And today's topic, that is sonnet number 75. As you know, sonnet was originated in Italy. Then from Italy it went to France, and from France this form of writing was brought to England by two persons. Could you tell me the name of the two persons? Anyone? The sonnet was brought to England. The two persons, Olive Surrey and Watt. These two persons brought this form of writing to England, And then sonnet writing became very popular in England, and basically in Elizabethan period, sonnet became very popular. And the famous sonneteers in Elizabethan period, that is, they are William Shakespeare. Then we get William Shakespeare. Then Philip Sidney. Then we get Edmund Spenser. So they are very popular sonneteers. Okay, while discussing this matter, that if you have any question, you can write it down here. Mm, no, 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 no. It's totally wrong, Paramita. Poetry is generic term. Poetry is generic term, and poem comes under poetry. This is a generic term. This is genre, and poem comes under it. So the conception you have, it's totally incorrect. Sorry. Paramita, and those students who are English honor students, if you have any question, you can type it down here, and definitely I'll try to answer your questions. And before beginning this thing, the sonnet, I hope all of you have the text. So let me just read out the text first. Amoretti sonnet number 75. Then I'll discuss line by line and everything, whatever your questions, I'll answer your questions too. One day I wrote her name up on the strand. This is the first line of the sonnet number 75. First, I'll read out the enter. Okay, if you do not have the Reda told you do not have the text, but how can I tell you? Uh, One day I wrote her name up on the strand, but came the waves and washed it away. The students who are not having the text, so you can just hear the sentence. One day is the first line of this sonnet. One day I wrote her name up on the strand, but came the waves and washed it away. Again I wrote it with a second hand, but came the tide and made my pains his prey. Vain man, said she, that durst in vain essay a moral thing so to immortalize, for I myself shall like to this decay, and eke my name be wiped out likewise. Not so could I, let baser things devise. To die in dust, but you shall live by fame. My verse, your virtues, rare shall eternize. And in the heavens, write your glorious name, where, when as death shall all the world subdue, our love shall live a latter life renew. First, I just tell you the main thing, the theme of this poem. Then I will go on discussing line by line, and in detail discussion will be there. The main theme of this sonnet is immortalization of love through art or verse. Edmund Spenser this wrote Amoretti, and this sonnet sequence or sonnet cycle was published in the year 1595 along with the Song of Marriage Epithalamion. So Amoretti was published in the year 1595, and in the same year another Song of Marriage, Epithalamion, also got published. And this sonnet sequence, Amoretti, was written for, or he wrote this one to woo his beloved Elizabeth Boyle. Elizabeth Boyle was an Irish lady, and the latter he married her. And to woo her, uh, he composed this sonnet. And the basic idea, this sonnet actually based on the Petrarchan style. First, I'll go through the line by line, then I'll talk about the structure and other points, other elements of this sonnet. One day, I wrote her name up on the strand. Here, I means one day the students who are not having the text kindly listen to my words. Hopefully, you can understand that. One day, I, here I refers to definitely the poet, as the poet. It's a kind of autobiographical poem. So I can say the poet says that one day I wrote her name up on the strand. What does the word strand mean? Strand means the shore. Okay, the theme of this poem is the immortalization of love, immortalization, eternalization, perpetualization of love through verse or art, through verse or art, and how the perpetualization, how immortalization happens through art and or verse, that I'll tell you very soon. Now, uh, one day I wrote. That means I here, as I already told you, I here refers to Spencer himself because it's an autobiographical poem. Wrote her name. Who is, that means who is referred to here as her? Definitely Elizabeth Boyle, who had been his beloved, and she was an Irish lady, and later he married her up on the strand. Strand means, as I already told, do you know the strand? Strand means the shore, sandy shore of sea or lake. This is called shore, and it's very interesting fact that the place where Elizabeth Boyle, already I told you Elizabeth Boyle was his beloved. The place where Elizabeth Boyle lived, it was quite near by. It was quite near the near a shore. So one day he tried to write her name up in the strand. Then what happened? But came the waves. It happens when you write someone's name on the way on the strand, then wave came and in no time effaced it or wiped it away. If you write someone's name on the strand, what happens that the waves came and washed it away. Again I wrote. Then first attempt went in vain, but he didn't leave. He didn't leave his attempt. He continued attempting, and then he wrote his name. Whose name? That his beloved's name. Who was his beloved? Elizabeth Boyle, with a second hand. Now there is a question that what is the second hand? Last year Wasim Akram asked me this question. Second hand. Second hand means second time. He wrote, but came the tide. Again, tide came and was the name or effaced the name in no time. Made my pains his prey. Made my pains his prey. Here, this is very important section. Made my pains. That means the pains that he undertook to write this one, write the name of his beloved, and that is prey. Here, this prey means basically this prey means prey, a beast or a bird of prey. Here, this an imagery has been used here. The waves are like the beast or birds of prey coming and jumping on the name written by the the, the sonneteer. Again, the modern spelling is that modern spelling of again is again. Again. Modern spelling is again. Okay. Now the next. So have you understood vein? Sorry, pain is prey. Here, prey means the prey means prey prey. This prey pray, but actually this is prey prey. Prey means that is a beast or prey of bird. Just like a prey of bird or beast, waves, the imagery has been used. The waves are coming. Waves are coming and jumping on that name written by the author, written by the poet, Spencer. And that beast took it away, washed it away. Vain man, said C, that dosed in vain assay. Now, in this line, you can find two different spellings. One spelling Vayne and second one Vaine. Vayne and second one Vaine. The modern spelling also, the Vai, vain. Vain means that's boastful or proud. Vain man. Here, light-heartedly, his beloved said, vain man, boastfully about writing this thing, as you know quite well, that your name will never be eternalized in this way. Still you are doing it. That doest in vain assay. Same here, A double S A Y. Say here, say means attempt, the vain attempt. The attempt you are taking that go in vain. A mortal thing, so to immortalize. This is very important thing. We human beings are mortals, and though we cannot be immortalized by writing name on the strand. When someone's name is written on the strand, then waves came and washed it away. So mortal things, mortal people, mortal things like her cannot be immortalized by writing her name on the strand. That she tried to make him understand. For I myself, Reza Chaudhary. Okay, I okay. Reza Chaudhary has an uh, Bengali. Okay, no, I think you should understand English. Why do you just shift into Bengali? So it will be easier to understand. Okay, let me just complete in English, then I'll definitely try to make understand in English, Bengali also. Okay, let me complete in Bengali first. Let me complete in Bengali first, then English first, and I'll definitely try to make it in Bengali too. Waksim Akram, do you understand? The students who are watching, are you getting my points? Are you getting my explanation? If are you having any problem? If you're facing any problem, you can tell me. Definitely, I'll try to resolve your problems. If you have any doubt, okay. So let's move. Reda, definitely I'll try to speak in Bengali also after completion of English version. Then if you have any problem in any section, you tell me. I'll make you understand in Bengali. Okay. Then the section is fine. For I myself, Paramita, do you like the explanation and the way I'm teaching? I don't know. But I'm a very poor teacher, I can tell you. I'm trying to make you understand with my poor knowledge. If you think it's not interesting, then definitely I'll stop here and I'll never try to teach it this way. This is very poor kind of. I think that there is a poor thing is happening. So how? If you like it, then just tell me this one. Then I'll. If you like or if you dislike whatever you're doing, just please tell me. Then I'll carry on. Expecting your response. Then I'll move on. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, thank you. For I myself, for I myself, self here is this archaic word, this is self, myself. Here I myself shall like to this decay. Here I myself, that means here Elizabeth Boyle or the beloved of the poet, myself is subject to decay. Subject to decay, and that's the main point, that when you are subject to decay, then how is it possible to eternalize a mortal person? So this is the way that the poet has opted of eternalizing a mortal thing is totally a wrong process of mortal immortalizing. And then ik my name be wiped out likewise. Ik, double ek, ik means also. Ik my double double ek, ik means also. Ik my name be wiped out likewise. As I am mortal, as the beloved was mortal, then beloved also will be decayed in course of time. Not so, quote I, let baser things devise. This baser things devise to die in dust. This baser thing devise, there is this the basic things means the the things or materials, meaner things, that means very poor, very meaner things, and materials of inferior quality, the basic things it's called. And it reminds us of scholastic theory of nature of substances. This theory was theorized or propounded by Saint Saint Thomas Aquinas. According to this theory, a pure substance like gold never dies because of its integrity and lack of contrariness. The pure thing never dies. According to the scholastic theory, pure thing never dies. But the base thing like iron, like lead, it goes decayed. And next line, but you shall live by fame. You shall live by fame, but you will be eternalized through by fame. You will be eternalized. My verse, your virtues, rare shall eternize. My verse, your virtues, rare shall eternize. And in the heavens write your glorious name. My verse, we all human beings, we are mortals, but we will expire one day. But what will remain? Our works remain. Our writings will remain. And through our writings, when this writing will be read by next generation, and we will remain alive. That said, the true and the poet wants to write her name in the heaven. In the heavens, write your glorious name. Why heaven? Because time always nibbles everywhere. Times are allowed to enter to every place. Time nibbles and time decays everything, but time cannot enter into heaven. So poet would like to write her name in the heaven, where when as days shall all the world subdue, our love shall leave a latter life renew. And our life will remain in this way because when our writing, and I would like to eternalize or immortalize, that means the poet would like to immortalize his love through verse, through art, because art is beyond the scythe of time. Time cannot nibble art. So in this true art, he desires to eternalize his beloved. Okay, this is the explanation, the line by line explanation of this poem. But there are several things left. You can ask your question if you have any question regarding the poem, any particular section. You can ask me. And the same like that in sonnet number 18 by Shakespeare, also you find this. Shall I compare the two Summer's Day? Where also Shakespeare would like to eternalize his. We find the similarity. Same theme where Shakespeare would like to immortalize his friend's beauty through verse. Now, this sonnet basically modeled on Petrarchan sonnet, as you know, but this sonnet also has some anti-Petrarchan features. Okay, do you have any question regarding this? The way I no, I cannot say that I taught, but I say that the discussion I have done. If you have any question, you can ask me. Whether you have understood, whether you have liked it or the disliked it, you can say me. Then I'll go on other discussions also. The very important feature of this poem, this is the dramatic opening. The dramatic structure is there. When the poem opens, then in a dramatic, suddenly you find that one person, that is the poet himself, says that one day I wrote her name up on the strand. Then we find that the beloved also says that the attempts that he undertakes go in vain. So this is dramatic structure found in this poem. And see, okay, yes, Petrarchan sonnet, but certain features it has, those features make it anti-Petrarchan too. It's a Petrarchan sonnet, but some features it has that make it anti-Petrarchan. Anti-Petrarchan. Okay, what is that? So basically, quote means quoted. I said. Quote means I said. Disproportionate component. Huh, you can say this. Basic things means which is not proper, which is not intact, or which is not, which doesn't have integrity. Yes, you can say in disproportionate content. But you always have that time you have to use this scholastic theory. This is very important point. You have to remember that. Anti-Petrarchan is also an important factor in this case. That anti-Petrarchan this sonnet is, and anti-Petrarchan in the sense that in this sonnet, if you go through Petrarchan sonnets, yes, ik means also, and Petrarchan sonnets, you will find that Petrarch wrote out of disappointment. But in this poem, you will never find the disappointment is there. Rather, celebration of love is there. Rather, the attempt to immortalize his beloved. That attempt is there. So this is anti-Petrarchan in that sense also. And also another thing which is very important, that is this poet, instead of glorifying adulterous love, he sings of pure and virgin love in this poem. So these are the points that make it that this poem is anti-Petrarchan. And also the rhyme scheme. Do you know how to find a rhyme scheme? Do you know how to find a rhyme scheme? One thing I'll do, because the problem I face, frankly speaking, if I get some students before me, if I could find you through several camps, then I could find your face. Now, what I find that I find my face only. So sometimes that if I find you before me, that it would be wonderful for me. Then I could make the eye contact, and the teaching could be in a better way. But I think that I'm the only one here. I'm not getting your responses, so it's like that one person is telling, and others, you are listening or not, I don't know. But you just give your feedback, and if you have any question, you can ask me. And it is also anti-Petrarch. It is different from Petrarch also on the mm, rhyme scheme also. In Petrarch's rhyme scheme is AB, ABA, AB, 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 CDE, CDE. That is AB, 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 AB. This is octave, first 8 lines. In Petrarchan sonnets, I'm talking about AB, 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 AB octave, and sestet is CD, CD. But in Spenserian sonnets, Spenserian sonnet AB, AB, BC, BC, CD, CD, E. Three quatrains and one couplet. Okay. And could you tell me one imagery Spencer has used in his poem? Could you tell me that what imagery he has used in this poem? I- yes, we can find it comparing the last word of each line. Yes, not on the last word, but also the pronunciation. Sound also matters there. not at the last line. Thus, if you read the sentence, if you read the line, then one day I wrote a name upon the strand, and washed it away. So A B. Then second line, the third line, second hand. So strand and hand. So A, and the fourth line, paints his spray away and pray. So A B. So in this way, not only the word but also the sound, the pronunciation matters. Sound matters, not pronunciation. Sound matters. So first, Spencerian sonnets, the first octave rhyme scheme is AB, and sestet is CD, Okay. Just now I told you that the word essay, A double S A Y, essay. Could you tell me what does the word essay mean? Could you tell me that? Next day, what will I do? That I'll install one board here. That will be better for me to teach, because if I keep on attempt, effort, yes, both are correct. Because effort, attempt. Do you like this kind of class? Because is it not boring for you? Is it boring? I personally find it's very boring. It's good. Don't know. If you have question, you can ask me. Okay. Could you tell me how many sonnets are there in Amoretti? How many sonnets are there in Amoretti? And what does Amoretti mean? What does Amoretti mean? Maybe two. Maybe two means no. Sonnet number 75 is there, which is your prescribed text, and Amoretti contains 89 sonnets. 89 sonnets Amoretti contains. Amoretti means little love. Amoretti means little love. And Spencer in this sonnet sequence, Spencer presents his sonnets in a cycle, and their common subject is definitely love, because in this poem, in this sonnet sequence, love is the main theme. And Spencer's others very important works are Fairy Queen, Shepherd's Calendar. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask me. Do you have any question? If you have any question, you can ask me, and kindly give your feedback. If you dislike this kind of teaching, that also you can tell me. If you like it, that you can also tell me, because I understand if there is no board, then it's very difficult for you to understand. If board work is there, because through board work it will be wonderful, but when board is not there, sometimes it's very difficult to continue in this way, because I can only find me for you. I can't find you. um, basically, the theme of this poem, the immortalization of love, perpetualization of love through verse or art, because art is beyond the sky of time. Time can nibble all things which are subject to decay, but time cannot nibble art. Art saves life. It's like when what is it, this one number 18? I don't know. Both of, first of all, both of us sonnets, as you know. Second one is that uh, in two sonnets, you just tell me in both sonnets, you find that the poet, both poets want to immortalize, want to perpetualize their special persons. In sonnet number 18, Shakespeare wants to immortalize his friend. In this poem, that Spencer wants to immortalize his beloved. Then, so this is the matter. Okay, has anyone any question now? If you have, then you can ask me. For a few minutes, I'm here. Paramita Paul is here, or has she left? The very last line, which is very important, our love shall leave and latter life renew. Our love shall leave, our love shall leave and latter life renew. Our love will be immortalized through art, through my verse. Because this sonnet was written 16th century, but still in 21st century we read this sonnet. And we are remembering their love. So through art, through verse, their sonnet is totally immortalized. Okay, Wasim Akram is here. So if you don't have any question, then just kindly leave your feedback that if you want this kind of class or not, or you want, I'll make some other videos and I'll upload it. What kind of video you want, you just tell me. Do you like it or dislike it? Whatever you do it, you just let me know so that I can understand. Because without board work, sometimes it becomes very. What would be the main question you think so? Okay, the questions that you can prepare from this section, which is that that immortalization, that, okay, let me tell you, it could be the question that what features of Spencerian sonnet, because why time can't affect heaven. Okay, mm, uh, okay, very good question. Why time can't affect heaven? Because heaven is if you reach heaven, that is immortal place. When something is immortal, then it is beyond time. That is totally beyond the scythe of time. So that's the reason that the heaven is a place except the immortal in the title. Yes, other question can come. That is, what features of Spencerian poetry are illustrated in sonnet number 75? What, you can write it down also. What features of Spencerian poetry are illustrated in sonnet number 75 taken from the Amoretti? Paramita, have you got your answer? Or you can write down this question also. How Spencer gives a dramatic structure. How Spencer gives a dramatic structure. Which one? Last question you're asking. What features of Spencerian poetry are illustrated in sonnet number 75? Do you want this kind of, okay, important question, because your feedback is very important for me. Should I give this kind of class more? Is it helpful enough for you? Because without board, sometimes it's very difficult for me to teach you. Is it helpful for you? Is it at all interesting? Don't know. uh, let's be honest, it was really interesting. Okay, thank you. If you dislike also, it doesn't matter to me, because it helps me prepare myself in more interesting way, because then I'll not make live class. Okay, one question for all of you who are watching me right now. Do you want this kind of class through live program, or you want me to prepare a video and upload it for you? Which is better for you? Amlan Jordar uploaded. Okay. Amlan, have you been present throughout this live? And others? Okay, another question which is also important, that you can write it down. What makes Spencer believe that love shall leave and latter life renew? What makes Spencer believe that love shall leave and other life renew? Is it too facile a view? This is also an important question. And all the question which is very, as you know, that how does Spencer in sonnet number 75 propose to immortalize his love and his beloved? Is he realistic? So today I had whatever I had to say. Something I said, some I couldn't, because of uh, lack of time and all these things. So if you have any other question, you can say me. If you don't have, then I will bid you adieu. Do you have any question? You can say me. If you have any suggestion, question, anything you have, if you dislike it, if you like it, whatever your feedback, you can give it. Any suggestion to make it more interesting, anything else. Mujahid Islam Malik live. Mujahid, have you gone through or have you watched this video? I want another live class on the topic of an introduction by Kamala Das. Uh, okay, yes, definitely I'll do it, but I will do it in a different way. Okay. So as I find you have no question, you have no query, then I should go off. So thank you very much for watching it. Thank you very much supporting it. And definitely I'll come live or any other video very soon to help you. Thank you, Reja. Uh, Reja or Raja? Reja, hopefully, no? Okay. Reja Chaudhary. Where are you from, Reja? And from which college you are? Okay. So thank you very much for watching me, and thanks a lot. And I'll await your feedback, and do leave your feedback. If you dislike it also, then please tell me, and I'll try to make it in a very interesting way. And this way, I will keep supporting you as you support me. So, on this note, thank you very much, and have a nice dream. Good night. Bye.